Hey everyone, it's Miss Willis here in my at-home studio, and today we're going to talk about a new project we're going to do. This project is based on a long history in America of artists creating posters for our national parks. And so back in the 1920s, more or less, when the Great Depression was going on in America, there was something called the Works Project Administration. The Works Project Administration gave jobs to Americans who did not have jobs, and that's how we got a lot of the schools in Philadelphia, highways, things like that. Part of the Works Project Administration was the Federal Artists Project. So artists were a part of the workers. We are, as artists, workers at the end of the day. So artists were given money to paint murals, beautify areas, and also to create posters for these new national parks that we had in America to try and encourage and entice people to come to these parks. So, as part of this, as part of our landscape unit, we are going to make parks posters. What I'm asking you to do is to go to the National Parks website and find a park you're interested in. It could be anywhere across the United States. Look up pictures, look at videos, take a screenshot, find a landscape from that park, and make a poster to advertise that park, to make people want to come there, to experience that park. I'm going to show you how to do this in Google Drawings. I'm going to show you the way to use it to kind of trace the image and make it a little easier for you. But you can also do this on pen and paper as normal, take a picture. But if you do that, I want to encourage you to start with pencil, to draw lightly as we always talk about, and then find the important lines, draw the name of the park at the bottom, and erase anything that name is overlapping, okay? If you have color, you can include that in your final drawing. That's totally fine. This is an opportunity for you to kind of learn some really great online photo editing, graphic design skills. If you follow along with this video, you will learn those, okay? Google Drawings is not perfect, but it has a lot of features that are very similar to Adobe Illustrator, which is something that will be required if you want to work in graphic design, if you want to work in branding, if you want to work at a music label, anything like that, that will be required, okay? So the first thing you need to do is go to nps.gov. That is the website, that's the National Park Service website. When I go here at the top of the page, I see a little thing right here that says find a park. And I can search by state. So personally, I'm going to search by a state that I've never been to. I've never been to New Mexico, so let's do it. So when I search by New Mexico, I get a lot of options. I get options on this map right here, and I can scroll down and find them listed. My mom went to Bandelier last year, or 2 years ago, something like that. She had a great time. But I think I'm gonna go to the Aztec ruins because that sounds really awesome, doesn't it? So when I go here and click on the Aztec ruins page, I see all sorts of pictures. I see options to explore trails. I can, do various programs. I'm going to explore the Aztec West Trail. I'm given all sorts of pictures of images inside of the Aztec ruins. But personally, I'm really struck by one picture I just saw. Let me go back to that. Oh, where did it go? Right here, image of the Aztec ruins under the snow. I think that's personally like very beautiful. And I think that would make a great poster. So as you look through the website for your national park, look and see. You know, there's all types of options. A lot of parks, just like museums, are offering options for you to explore visually. If you watch a video of a park and you see a great shot of that park, you can take a screenshot. Miss Nora showed you how to take a screenshot with your Chromebook, and I'm going to insert a little tutorial in here just to remind you how to take that screenshot. But for me personally, with my MacBook, I hit Command-Shift-4, and I drag a little square over what I want to do. So now what I'm going to do is go to Google Docs, and I'm going to hit /drawings, so I can create a drawing. This is the last one that I created. I did this as kind of a demo. So right now I'm going to hit File, New, Drawing to create a new one. So when I start, I'm going to hit Insert Image and Upload from Computer. Now for me, my screenshots saved to my desktop. They might save to your downloads or somewhere else, but find that screenshot that you found of your national park, click on it. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want with the snow. Lovely. And I hit open. So I have this on my Google Drawings. I expand it into my area. And now what I'm going to do is use this drawing tool right here. I'm going to hit the little arrow next to it and hit scribble. This is my preference. You can use the curve, you can use the line, but right now when I'm tracing the image, I'm going to use the scribble. When I start, I'm going to choose a color that's similar to what I'm tracing. So what I'm tracing is these walls of the ruin. So I'm going to choose kind of like a deep gray, orangey kind of color. I'm going to choose dark yellow 3, but I can also go to custom and pick something else if I like to. We'll look at that later. And when I start, I'm going to pick kind of a large line size so that I know what I'm tracing. Right now I did something, it's a common mistake. I was clicking on the whole image, so it gave the image itself a border. That's the color I picked and the size I picked. So I'll click back on my mouse, click on that. I'm gonna undo that real quick, and then I'm gonna click outside of the image, click my scribbly guy. And when I start to draw, it's not gonna be much. But then I will pick that dark yellow color again, and I will pick a larger scale line. And now you can see that starting to show up. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to trace around all of the important areas. So I'm going over all of these really nice ruinous shapes. Just as an example, I'm going to stop right here. All right, so you're going to keep going around the ruins or the trees or the mountains or whatever you're focusing on. At a certain point, you're going to feel that you've gotten to a good place in your drawing. And you're going to say, hey, I'm done. I've gotten everything traced. So at that point, you click on the mouse, you click on the image in the background, and you hit delete. And that image is deleted, and you're at a point where you just have the tracing from the image. Now, there's a lot of options as to how you can fill in the rest of the background. You can hit this little icon right here, and that represents shapes. So if I want to do that, maybe I'll hit a rectangle and I'll draw out a rectangle behind here down to the bottom of the image. I'll change the fill to a lighter orangey kind of color. I'll turn the line around the edge of it transparent. And now I have this. Maybe I'll send that all the way to the back so my lines are on top of it. Right here, I can see a kind of deserty color on top of the lines that I traced from the ruins. And now maybe I will draw out a shape up top. I don't want that to be gray. I want it to be a sky color, so a wintry grayish blue. Again, a transparent outline, and I will send that to the back. Now, this isn't looking like a whole lot, but let's go to the drawing I did earlier. So right here, I have my background. I drew in some trees. I got these kind of curvy shapes. I went over top of it. You can do all of this in Google Drawings. So for example, when I go back to here, I have this blue spot right here that's not the same sort of color as the ground. What I can do is select my line, get a curve, and I can go around that, right? So I'm clicking on points wherever the line curves. And the most important thing is that it comes back and connects to the first part of the line, okay? The line needs to be connected to itself in order to generate color on the inside. So once I do that and I have that sign of fill color, I will change it to that color we had at the beginning, transparent color on the outside. I will click on it with my mouse and I will send it to the back and then send the blue to the back so it covers up that kind of orange color. All right. So that's how you can kind of fill in those spaces that don't fit into your typical square or rectangle. Now, once you have the landscape of your park image completed, you're going to want to kind of give it a tagline or at least a title, right? So I'm going to hit Insert, Word Art. And for us, we're doing the Aztec National Ruins. I'm going to hit that. It's going to generate something standard. So through that, I can play around with, font, obviously. So something very, it's very medium. Maybe I'll do something bold. And then I will change the color. I want it to go with the rest of the poster. My poster has a lot of neutral colors, light blues, snow whites, etc. So maybe I'll do kind of a neutral reddish color. I think that looks really nice with the yellow. So I will expand it out. Now this is the point where you kind of get to play around, right? You get to choose. Personally, I don't like the border around the letters, but that's up to you. So I change that, I take that off. Maybe you love having a border around those letters. That is up to you. So once you are done, you're at a point where you're satisfied with your image, you can either just share it directly with me, or if you have some overflow like I do, what I'm gonna do is take a screenshot again. So for me, I hit my screenshot option and I'm gonna drag it out to make my perfect image. I hit that, it pops up in the bottom right hand of my screen. And when I go to submit this on Google Classroom, I can either add it right through Google Classroom or I can email it to me or to I hope all of this was really helpful for you, and I'm so excited to see what park you explore and what poster you create.